Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the 1-day chart. We're sitting here just above 50 cents. You know, the whole market was dipping and XRP held up very well. And everybody's now saying this is the last dump before we go. Everybody's expecting upward only after the election, which is tomorrow. But in that video I did yesterday, I talked about selling my XRP if BlackRock gets involved with XRP. I just hate the idea of it. You know, all the hype in the crypto space is, oh, BlackRock's getting involved with this. That's very bullish. Do you realize who BlackRock even is? They're an evil entity controlled by the elites. And they only do things that are going to benefit BlackRock. I still think BlackRock is going to sway crypto regulations as well. But people ask me, what would you buy if you sold your XRP? I always look at it like this. I ask myself, what would I buy right now if XRP never existed? Most likely XLM and QNT. Because QNT is going to be the glue holding the entire new financial system together. And XLM is very similar to XRP, but I'm not going to sell it anytime soon. You know, I expect this run up to be absolutely fantastic. Then we'll see where we go from there. The one good thing I know is that Larry Fink doesn't even like to talk about XRP. Do you ever take notice to that? He doesn't want to talk about an XRP ETF, and he never mentions Ripple. So think about it like this. Why would one elite want to get involved with a token that is elite controlled? That's the way I look at it. Because we know we're holding what the elites see as the future. That's what XRP is. It's the technology of the future. And I got to share something else really quick. I was watching a documentary. I watched a professor of rock a lot on YouTube. And I was watching a segment he did on Tommy James, the guy who wrote the song Crimson and Clover. And something Tommy James said, actually, it made a lot of sense with what's going on with crypto right now. This is back in the 60s. He said he went on vacation for 90 days, came back, and everything in the music industry changed overnight. He said, all of a sudden, we no longer had AM radio only. We now had FM. And people were no longer making singles. They were making entire records. And I expect the same thing to happen in crypto. I think when the transformation from the current financial system into the new financial system happens, it's going to happen so quick. And people are going to be like, wow, what the hell just happened? Because all of a sudden, your bank's going to be offering you digital wallet. They're going to be offering you custody solutions for your crypto, things like that. That's the transformation I see coming. Because the new financial system is just one massive network. And I've been watching it build out over the past 2 years. I shared it in video after video. So it makes a lot of sense to me that anytime technology is advancing, it happens very quick. And I think the same will happen here. Earnings on Bitcoin and other high cap tokens at their peak can reach 2x or 5x on the invested funds. By choosing the right altcoins, you can easily earn a 50x from just one asset. You don't need to be an experienced investor to make your first million. So here's alt season, and this is why I said it's going to look a lot different for XRP by Christmas. Because if you look at the previous alt seasons, 2016 to 2017. That's when it started going upward at the end of the year. Same thing happened in 2020 into 2021. Now, I think it's going to start right after the election is over, but it's going to go into 2025. And you see it right here. This would most likely be from October, November, December, and then into next year. A lot of people are saying for XRP, we could already be past a new all-time high by the time Christmas gets here. Let's hope that happens. Good morning, XRP. The best investors in the world are really good at doing nothing for long periods of time. And that's the one thing I stress the most. I'm always telling you, stay patient. Don't do anything. Just wait for it to happen. Because I know it gets frustrating, but you can't let that frustration get the best of you. You got to stay focused, because next year we are headed towards a massive crash. I think we're going to see stock market crash. Everything's going to be crashing out at some point next year. So you got to make a lot of money off of your investment before that happens. That's why I'm always urging you to stay patient and wait it out. Just do nothing. Who will replace Gary Gensler, the top candidates for SEC chair after the election? So here's who they have picked out right here. Hester Pierce. We'll talk more about her in a minute. Brian Brooks, Chris Giancarlo, and Chris Brummer, and Erica Williams. So you see their previous roles. Chris Giancarlo, former chairman of the CFTC. I like that because the CFTC wants to keep retail involved in crypto. Chris Brummer is a Georgetown law professor with expertise in financial regulation. That would be a good choice because maybe we could get clear regulations going forward. Erica Williams currently served as chair of the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board. She's also under consideration by Harris's team for SEC role. Let's get back to Hester Pierce. Remember her, crypto mom? I think she could have did a lot more for crypto, but I think she just sat back and watched Gary just continue to crack down on crypto along the way. I don't know if she would be bullish for XRP or crypto in general. I mean, she is a great pick in my opinion, but I think Brian Brooks is who we really want. Brian Brooks, managing partner of Valor Capital Group, says Ripple isn't seeking to replace the US dollar. Take a listen.
So the point that I always try and tell people is, the biggest issue that I always try and focus on is cryptocurrencies are really not about currency. And the biggest misunderstanding of this whole discussion is the belief that if crypto is not doing a great job of replacing the US dollar, then crypto is failing in its mission. And what I think we'll talk about a little bit today is the idea that most of crypto is about replacing the centralized banking system with networks that allow user control versus bank CEO control. The crypto assets that have prices are more like internet stocks. It's more like you bet on Google if you think there's going to be high internet traffic, and you short Google if you think people are going to go back to the post office, right? But it's not that Ethereum or Ripple or anything else is trying to replace the US dollar. It's trying to replace a system of transmitting value. And we'll talk a lot more about that. So for me, the prices are not that relevant.
Technically, what Ripple is trying to do is replace the Fed. They're trying to get rid of the big bank fees that are involved inside of cross-border payments. But Brian Brooks understands what Ripple is all about. He also understands that we need innovation to push ahead in the United States. I think he would be a more bullish replacement for Gary Gensler. That's my opinion. XRP Unleashed project has been completed and will showcase in public spaces this coming week. The same week that we could start to see crypto prices turn around, start heading upward. Because every single election year, Bitcoin took off right after the election. Utility is the killer app. Blockchain disrupts financial services. Transparency instills public trust. Accountability elevates lawfulness. Decentralization ends monopolies. Adoption occurs without force. Stateless, natural disincentivizes war. Nature incentivizes war. We don't need any more wars going forward. You know what happens? All of a sudden, the US dollar starts to weaken, and then the US gets involved with a war somewhere in the world. We watched it happen time and time again. We need to end that. You know, that's why I always said, once we go back to a gold-backed system and things are running on blockchain and everything is fully transparent, I think the need for war going forward will start to end. And that's what I would really like to see what happens. So the XRP ledger plus XRP token levels the global playing field and serves as critical infrastructure for the new Internet of Value. That's what XRP is built to do. This is why I said, to hell with those ETFs. XRP has actual utility and use case. The total daily value of all global goods and services soon to travel across Ripple XRP and Stellar XLM blockchains will exceed the total daily value of all Fortune 1000 companies combined. That's how big this actually is. DLT ends the grotesque abuses of privately owned, secretly operated, wealth-extracting central banking cartels in operation since the 1600s. Technology doesn't yield to one's emotions, feelings, beliefs, traditions, or institutional bias. Technology is a mathematical code that moves at the speed of light. I always tell you, once you get into crypto, you also gotta leave your emotions at the door. You know, there's so many people that get emotional in this space and they end up taking loss after loss. Leave your emotions at the door and do nothing. But you know, when you look at Franklin Templeton, their CEO, Jenny Johnson, when she said that Bitcoin is the greatest distraction from one of the greatest disruptions in financial services, which is blockchain, she knows where this is going. And they have at Franklin Templeton a Bitcoin ETF. I think she even knows that those ETFs are going to end up being tokenized on the Stellar network, also on the XRP ledger. A transformation is going to happen in crypto, and the Bitcoin maxis are too greedy to see it coming. They had people like Michael Saylor telling them that it's only up for Bitcoin forever, like it's going to last forever. You know, once carbon credits show up, that's going to end Bitcoin. I think it's going to happen even sooner than that. I think once it becomes tokenized, it will become irrelevant. SWIFT begins its testing of digital asset transactions, and financial institutions in the regions of North America, Europe, and Asia will use SWIFT to transact interchangeably across both existing and emerging asset and currency types. The trial will interlink numerous digital and traditional currency platforms within the network, providing what SWIFT describes as a single system for banks to transact across borders with digital and fiat currencies, and aiding this new market to grow. We know SWIFT is involved with Project Agora, and Ripple partner SBI Group is participating. I would not be surprised that SWIFT is testing XRP within its new digital asset transactions for cross-border payments. I am sure that is happening because Ripple already has rail after rail in place. And SWIFT initiating all of those transactions across all those rails keeps Swift relevant going forward. And that's what makes sense. But this is set to start to pick up momentum in 2025. I think once everybody's calling the top for crypto, I think we're going to continue to go higher with utility driving the price of these cryptocurrencies. Greg Kidd at Las Vegas 2024. I did go and work for the Federal Reserve, which was the deep state, to a poker game with other deep state players like Google and Visa. And they talked about this new company, Ripple. It was like the Bitcoin ledger, but with 2 extra columns in the spreadsheet, one for the issuer and one for the currency. And thank you to Arthur Brito and David Schwartz for educating me about what the future looks like. They all know Ripple and XRP is the future. You know, XRP was built to not only replace Bitcoin, but the XRP ledger was built to tokenize Bitcoin as well. That was the very first use case. So you already know where this is heading as we push forward. Everything relies on Bitcoin on its way to being irrelevant. People think that it's going to hold up forever, and it's not. And you could see the transformation is already happening. It's been taking place over time. It's not going to be an overnight event, but it's going to happen swiftly. In other words, all of a sudden, utility starts driving XRP. All the hype shifts from Bitcoin to XRP and XLM and a few other cryptocurrencies. As the hype shifts, the smart money will shift. And that's when we will start to see the transformation take place. Now, when is that going to happen? It'll start next year. Most likely go into 2026 and then into 2027. Because utility is not going to slow down. It's just going to pick up more and more momentum along the way. But until it all happens, you got to stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.